Welcome back to the O'Reilly 200 from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's race 16 for the Camping World Truck Series. 77 degrees out, overcast skies. The bad stuff has been going north of us, so we're hoping that it stays away for the entire race. Our starting grid will roll across the bottom of the screen. Kyle Busch has won the pole. James Buescher was supposed to start on the outside of him, but Kyle Busch made some adjustments after qualifying. He goes to the back. We take a look at our ZMAX track description.
Yeah, what a great racetrack. It was reconfigured back in 2007. Now it's progressive banking, 26 degrees on the bottom, 30 degrees on the top of the racetrack, Michael, and it's pure speed here, baby.
You used to just run into people if they were in your way because there was only one groove here. Now you can run at the bottom and have success, or the top. So the drivers have a lot of options when they get to the turns.
And one of the options is to run into people. The Royal Purple Race Analysis gives us a couple other options, I'm sure.
Well, you can pit.
Yeah.
Our pit window, if they went green all the way, is about 140 or 50 laps. Remember, the last couple years, this race was won by pitting early, getting in your window, then staying on the racetrack.
Going to shine a spotlight on a few different drivers in our speed spotlight. We begin with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, it's an interesting idea to make your first ever start in the Camping World Truck Series right at this racetrack. But for John King, it was a no-brainer. He comes from Kingsport, which is right up the road. He's been running dirt races all over. But last week, the news got out that he was going to be here tonight. And guess what? His phone started ringing. About 400 of his friends are in the audience right now. They're going to be rooting for truck number 46. Adam?
And there will be plenty of support tonight as well for Jake the Snake Crum. He starts in the 13th position, also making his NASCAR truck debut. He's 18 years old from Statesville, North Carolina. He's made a pair of starts this year in the K&N Pro Series East Division, and he hopes a good run here tonight will set him up to get back in the truck in Martinsville, and he hopes all that experience can set him up to run for Rookie of the Year in 2011. Phil?
Adam, 27-year-old Brazilian Miguel Paludo will make his debut here tonight in the Stemco Duraline Toyota. Stemco Duraline makes wheel products and brake linings for heavy-duty vehicles and equipment. Miguel is a two-time champ of the Brazilian Porsche Cup. He's run some K&N Pro Series East races this year with a best finish of 9th at Lime Rock, Connecticut. He will start his Toyota out of the Germain Racing Stable in 23rd spot.
We got all these guys making their first start, and I want to shine mine on Jarrett Johnson. Racers ask me all the time, how do I get to NASCAR? My answer, it's quite simple. Whatever you race, you got to win. And that's exactly what this JJ has been doing. Since starting in late models in 2001, he's won races, he's won Rookie of the Year honors, and he's won tracks championships. Those successes has led him to his nationwide debut in 07, and tonight he's starting the number 01 Coma Chevy off the 35th spot in his debut.
We're about to go racing, and we want to ride along with a few different drivers, one of those being Kyle Busch with his Toyota on board. He will really qualified first, but will start from the back. Ron Hornaday a little bit closer to the front. He starts in the 5th position and will carry one of our cameras. He's won at this racetrack twice. And Elliott Sadler coming off of his win at Pocono, back behind the wheel of a Chevrolet here in the Camping World Truck Series. He'll carry one of our cameras around Bristol Motor Speedway.
As a race car driver, there's nothing more thrilling than coming to the green at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Pace truck is off the racetrack now. The field is in the hands of Elliott Sadler and James Buescher. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Hornaday right behind Elliott Sadler in that bright orange number 33. James Buescher trying to find a way to get back down.
James has clearance right now. He can pull down to the bottom of the racetrack if he so chooses.
Great start by James.
Side by side, a little contact behind him for 4.
Brad Keselowski on the outside in the 29 truck, the 13 of Johnny Sauter. Brad has that spot for now. Now Timothy Peters side by side with Sauter.
Keselowski was up high, and it looked as though the 29 got hit by the 17 as they were going through 1 and 2.
They're all going to hit each other, I think, at some point tonight, Rick. This place is so tight. You could see James Buescher, though. There's options there. He slides up to the middle of the track, is able to hold off Hornaday. Hornaday wants the bottom, but James finds the running okay up top.
Buescher still trying to hold on to that position. We see Kyle Busch making his way up toward the front on the left side of your screen.
He's not going to waste a whole lot of time trying to get by as many trucks as he can.
Hornaday sideways off the 4th turn. Couldn't control that tire truck. About spun out.
Buescher able to hang on to 2nd. Hornaday is 3rd. Right behind him, that's Keselowski in the 29 in 4th. Kyle Busch is 25th. You can almost see that clicker on the bottom of that screen.
Gets a little loose himself. You see when he dove in on the outside, the thing got sideways. So Kyle's just going where they're not. You can see he went high to get around Sieg and now to the inside of Brett Raymer, and he's making that work.
We mentioned at the beginning of the show, no one's ever started further back than 12th and ended up winning this race. That was Travis Boapel back in 2003, and he really shouldn't have won the race because Kevin Harvick dominated the race and blew a tire on the second to last lap.
There goes Keselowski to the inside of Hornaday in a battle for the third spot.
Well, you know, Hornaday was really aggressive. He was all over James Buescher, got to the inside of him, but when they came off turn 4 there, Phil, Ron about lost that truck, and now he's lost ground to Buescher. Is falling into a battle here with Brad Keselowski. This time he's up on top of
Keselowski. Keselowski tries to save it. He keeps it going the right direction.
No caution.
And we stay green.
What a nice save by Brad Keselowski. There aren't that many people that would have saved that truck without hitting the inside wall.
You just see everything he did. He gave it a little bit of gas. He gave it some brake, but then he didn't commit to anything. He got off the brake and got the thing headed in the right direction. But I'm afraid he's flat spotted his tires. Yeah, he's going to have a flat.
Oh, and almost around.
Got into John King in the 46 truck that Ray was telling us about.
Take another look.
This is when Hornaday about loses it. He's on the inside of James Buescher. Keselowski's going to have to pit, but he's on the inside of James Buescher. And look, he gets as sideways as you want to get at Bristol. The thing's out of control. He was able to save it, but then Brad.
Watch Brad now. He's going to basically spin out here. You see him get a little bit loose. He thought the thing would catch it, finally didn't. But watch it. Watch the rear tires. He lets off the brake and the truck turns and straightens right out.
But you could see how long that right front tire slid, Phil, and I think it burnt right through the rubber. He's on pit road right now. He's got a flat tire. Will he keep rolling on through? I think he does.
The caution has come out. This is for debris in turn number 2, and Brad Keselowski on pit road.
He has a right front flat tire, but he came off pit road, Rick. He had a stop. He would have lost 2 or 3 laps. This way, he's only going to be 1 down, Phil, I believe, and put himself in a position to wind up with the Aaron's lucky dog at some point.
Yeah, that's a huge break for Brad Keselowski. I think we're too early. We're only 12 laps complete right now. Too early for these guys to get in their window. I mean, Brad's obviously going to have to stop to replace the right side tires, at least probably 4 tires for that truck.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, and the right side fender is crushed in, and Brad knew that. He said, I don't want to tear this thing up. We still have a chance. Remember, with the lucky dog and the way it all works out, he's not out of this for sure. They're going to go ahead and put right side tires on it, but it's important to get that right front fender pulled off. So far right now, I'm not sure, guys, was pit road even open?
No, but it doesn't matter. He just needs to get the fender fixed and get his truck tuned up and get back into this battle, Ray. And that's exactly what the team's doing, as you called it. They're all over that right front fender. He got a lot of damage over there when he ran into the side of Hornaday trying to grab that spot. I don't know, Phil, if they can just pull that out and it'd stay out there. It looks kind of flimsy.
That's what it looks like. It looks like it's not staying when they try to pull it out. That will put Brad at least 2 laps down here.
So again, we're under caution because of the debris, but here is the problem Keselowski had to overcome. Slid sideways, straightened it back out. They stayed green, but debris on the racetrack brought out our first caution. And welcome back to Thunder Valley. About ready to restart as the pace truck has made its way back onto pit road. Elliott Sadler still leading the field. He restarts on the outside of row 1. Buescher on the inside. Green flag back in the air.
I like Elliott Sadler starting on the outside.
Oh, he's got problems. Slows on the restart. Buescher goes by. Timothy Peters goes by. They battle for the lead going down the backstretch.
Okay, never mind that.
I'm not sure what happened to Elliott Sadler. Looks like he just stopped when he got down in turn number 1.
He's got her wound up now. Look at him around the outside.
Bounces off the wall.
But he got around Hornaday. He's got her going again. Maybe that thing stumbled a little bit. The carburetor didn't come up to a speed quite right. Adam, did you hear?
He just came on the radio, Michael, after getting out of traffic and said, I could not get it in 4th gear. I could not get it in 4th gear. Keep your eye on the number 2.
Well, I liked him picking the outside. We saw what happened to Brad Keselowski.
Problems in turn number 1. Austin Dillon's involved.
Donnie Lee, I think the 07 goes around.
Get turned around here as quick as you can.
Chris Jones just maybe skint you see the right front damage to Austin Dillon's truck.
That's a lot of damage on that truck.
You're right.
There's 2 other trucks that were involved down there. Austin Dillon being one of them. Bringing out our second caution.
There's Grandpa Richard Childress overseeing the event here. Austin got squeezed
This started way back here at almost at the start-finish line. You see the 07 of Donnie Leah forces the 21 of Jake Crum into the outside wall. Then it turns Donnie sideways. Austin, with nowhere to go, makes contact. Look at Thabo Nine, our point leader, just get by the 3 of Austin Dillon.
Oh, and then Austin gets hit again.
That's Chris Jones, the 87, just knocks that front fascia off.
Now watch this. Donnie Leah just does not give Crum any room at all. Squeezes him in the outside wall. And watch how hard Austin hits him. Boom.
Straightens it back out.
I'm not sure that maybe Donnie Leah didn't receive the least amount of damage of all the trucks, and he's the one that caused that mess.
And Donnie Leah and Jake Crum are teammates at SNS Greenlight Racing.
Things happen fast around this racetrack.
Kyle Busch, you heard him grab third gear even before he got to turn number 1.
He wanted to make sure he had plenty of options. Get that thing down on a lower gear, and if he needs to make a move in a hurry, he would have the power to do it. I love that move by Kyle Busch.
Here's Donnie, just squeezes Jake up in the outside wall. Jake could not have gone any higher.
Well, you're right.
He could have got on top of the wall, I guess. So maybe he could have gone a little higher.
Look at these guys doing a great job. We heard Kyle Busch downshifting. Thabo Nine just snaking his way through. Chris Jones down on the bottom just couldn't seemingly like get his car chuck over to the left far enough, and added insult to injury by hitting Austin Dillon again.
Danny Stockman, the crew chief for Austin Dillon. Those guys have worked extremely hard on the front of this truck already today, and it looks like they're going to have to go back to work, right?
Well, and that's part of the concern, Rick. Whenever you have those repairs like they did earlier today, sometimes you got to use duct tape and all kinds of different things. So they're not sure what kind of damage they're going to face here. But in order to try to stay on the lead lap, they're going to do double pit stops. As they come in this time, they'll work just on the right side. They'll not put any fuel in it. And Austin now sees his sign, pulls in. There's a good bit of fender missing on the right front. On the nose piece is completely gone there. Now, the other thing is the input for the brakes may have to be removed. So they're talking it over on the radio, making a track bar adjustment, going up 1.5 rounds there. No fuel this time, right side work only. They'll come back to work on the left side after they go around, but they got to stay on the lead lap.
Remember, Austin has a string of 8 top 10 finishes in a row coming into this race here.
I don't believe he's going to be able to have another one, Phil. That thing's tore up pretty good. That restart, Elliott Sadler took the top side, and we saw the trouble that guys were having trying to make passes down on the bottom. Even Brad Keselowski spinning out. So I like the choice here. Gets a great start, but he said he just couldn't get it in the fourth.
There's third gear. He's fine in third, but cannot get it in the fourth gear right there.
Right there. He was trying to grab fourth. It wouldn't go in. And look, that's how competitive this thing is. One little bobble, and 3 trucks were all the way around him.
But what a heads-up move by Timothy Peters and James Busher to get by him without making contact. Obviously, some debris still on the racetrack over there on the backstretch.
The tough part for Austin Dillon and that 3 team is getting all these repairs made, because you spend so much time at pit road speed driving the pit roads, you have very little time to work on your truck.
So the debris, they will get that off of the racetrack. How about Kyle Busch?
How about that crowd?
Yeah, great crowd on hand here in Bristol, Tennessee. Kyle Busch has gone from starting in the 35th position all the way up to 13th. Impressive for young Kyle Busch.